Dear friend, a few months ago, I sent you an email offering free instant access to the VX platform. It probably ended up in your spam folder or got lost in your automated messaging system. Either way, you can immediately finalize your access simply by checking this little box. Once you've completed this simple step, you'll receive a confirmation pop-up like this. Once you have access to the VX platform, you'll have the choice to cash out up to $881.26 on the 5th or 20th of each month. If you choose the 20th of each month, you'll receive up to $881.26 plus a bonus. Like this. To put it simply, on the 20th of the month, you pocket the accumulated interest on top of the base amount of up to $881.26 that you'll receive without doing anything. For example, if, like me, you choose to cash out on the 20th of the month, you'll receive up to $3,113.78. That's up to $2,232.52 in interest, as you can see in my own account. The VX platform is obviously compatible with PayPal, bank accounts, and Venmo, and as you'd expect, regardless of the method and date, all transfers are completely secure because the platform uses HTTPS technology, which means all transfers are made with the highest security standards. Once you've logged into the VX platform for the first time, you can receive your welcome transfer of up to $881.26. Then, amounts will be calculated based on the chosen date and base amount. The VX platform makes transfers based on capital, in an interest formula like this. It's a bit technical to explain, so stay focused because this will affect your profits. When you choose to cash out your transfer at the beginning of the month, the platform doesn't have time to accumulate more interest. So it pays you the base amount, as you can see in this image. Now, I know what you're thinking. This isn't serious. Nobody gets automatic money like this. I'll admit that explained in this way, it really sounds like some Sunday night guru trying to sell you a dream, like the Powerball. Sorry to disappoint you, but the truth is the VX platform is anything but a scam. See for yourself. Take David, 39, former night security guard, who now receives $3,113.78 every 20th of the month in his PayPal. Not to mention Margaret, 69, who knows absolutely nothing about computers and technology, yet she cashes out her amount every month like David. And don't forget Ricardo, 48-year-old who was struggling to make ends meet. Since getting his account, he's accumulated a nice nest egg of $14,182.68 in less than 5 months while being able to take care of his family. And I want to emphasize that Ricardo and many other partners have nothing but a basic phone and aren't computer geniuses. So you can do it too. Since you're about to receive up to $881.26 per month in less than 2 minutes, I want to clarify an important point. You're about to change your life thanks to my invention. So I sincerely want you to take a fresh start right now by clicking the little box below. For example, putting your child in a better school, traveling and spending quality time at the beach, dedicating yourself to projects you never had time to complete, or even better, spending quality time with family. Life is too short to waste it. I remind you that all you have to do is follow these simple steps. Check simple little boxes like this, then confirm your access. Next, you choose the date you want to receive your payments based on your financial situation. Then, select the transfer method. And don't forget to check the little box to remind yourself to take a fresh start in your life. Of course, you're free to do what you want, because, after all, you're a responsible adult. After this simple little procedure, you'll see this confirmation appear on your screen. I want to clarify that you can modify the cash out date or transfer method whenever you want, but it's up to you whether or not to receive interest. If you want to see your earnings increase quickly, I recommend withdrawing on the 20th of the month. In any case, the procedure will remain the same regardless of the cash out date you choose. But before going further, let me introduce myself. My name is John. I'm 42 years old and I grew up in the suburbs of Denver. Despite my difficult environment, I was very studious in school, which allowed me to study at one of the most prestigious business schools in the world, Harvard Business School. I was a financial engineer for 9 years for some of the world's largest financial institutions like HSBC, PayPal, Bank of America. For years, I rubbed shoulders with the rich and discovered how they use savers' money to their advantage. They organize cocktail parties and reserve bonuses for themselves, while savers lose their hard-earned retirement. In short, my job consisted of developing financial exchange systems that always work to the advantage of one group at the expense of another. How do you think Russia escapes financial sanctions? Thanks to financial engineers. Except in America, it's financial warfare declared against the people. And you know very well that I'm right. But what's important is that this job allowed me to develop the VX platform in which your access has been pending finalization for several months. So if you want to cash out up to $881.26, I advise you to check this little box as soon as possible. The reason the VX platform pays you money every month is because it's a connection between international fund transfers and your account. A connection I developed through thousands of hours of work and research. To put it simply, the VX platform uses an encrypted transfer system called, in the jargon, neo-transfers. It's an extremely complex transfer method that requires very specific expertise. In summary, neo-transfers use a portion of amounts sent abroad to create continuous interest for a certain period and return it. Have you ever wondered why some transfers take 2 to 3 business days? And the best part is that it exploits SWIFT and IBAN technology transfers that are 100% legal and used by everyone, to the tune of at least $520 billion per year. So, as long as there are international transfers, the VX platform sends you your payments, and you'll make up to $881.26 every month without counting interest for your entire life. Interesting, isn't it? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I chose to leave the corporate world, I had a very personal goal in mind. Not being born rich, I was never able to fit in among them. I simply wanted to get out of that toxic environment that openly despises those who weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth. And of course, to make enough money to take care of my aging parents, especially my father, who has severe Alzheimer's. While my father was forgetting his life, it reminded me what was really important in mine: taking care of the people I love. But since the VX platform became part of my life, my family situation has significantly improved. So much so that a representative from the Financial Regulatory Authority named Thomas came to visit me. And let me tell you, I really didn't appreciate it. In fact, I couldn't own a transfer platform by myself and make transfers to myself. It was absurd. According to Thomas, for the VX platform to remain operational, I must share this revolutionary technology. So, to stay legal, the VX platform can't belong to just one person. That's why I need you. Which brings me to ask you this question. Do you want to cash out up to $881.26 monthly for the rest of your life? If yes, don't forget that you still have one transfer waiting for you. And you could make even more, up to $3,113.78. That's if you decide to cash out on the 20th of the month. But this partnership obligation doesn't really bother me because I've accumulated so much money with the VX platform and my work experience that I can't complain. After all, I'm a financial engineer. Being creative to make money was my job. And since I come from the Denver suburbs, I've lived surrounded by people who haven't been lucky. So, I want to make a small difference. So far, I've managed to lift more than 63 partners out of poverty. And fortunately for you, the VX platform was recently upgraded. It now allows for 9 new partners. And each time a new partner joins the VX platform, it's a new inflow of funds directly taken from international transfers to the VX platform, which generates more interest. So the more partners there are, the more money accumulates for everyone. But to continue operating long-term, I must show Thomas from the regulatory authority that the number of partners is adequate based on the VX platform's capacity. It's thanks to this type of law that the system can extract more income tax because the more people benefit from the VX platform, the more taxes it collects. So you can thank him. Since the platform generates unlimited profits over time, people from the finance world have approached me to buy the rights. One morning, a former classmate I hadn't seen in 20 years called me to get his hands on it. He saw the VX platform as a way to retire from the stress of his job as a Wall Street trader. So he offered me $1.3 million, which I politely declined. Because the VX platform is much more profitable for my pockets than his offer. After all, more than $500 billion exchanged per year is hard to beat. And the beautiful thing is that no investment is necessary. So the VX platform is very accessible because I'm offering it to you for free. But I need 9 new partners to stay legal, and that's where you play your role. Despite being offered a lot for this revolutionary platform, I want to keep control. I can assure you that most rich people like Warren Buffett would be ready to do anything to have it, but I don't belong to their world. And neither do you, probably. That's why you were chosen. So please, finalize your access as soon as possible and cash out up to $881.26 today. Because by not finalizing your access all this time, you've reduced the number of transfers in the VX platform. So you're slowing down the enrichment of all partners and mine. If you don't act, I'll have to permanently delete your access and your pending transfer today. To avoid permanent deletion of your suspended access, I'm not even asking for $1,000. And I certainly won't ask you for $750,000. In fact, the only thing I ask is that you pay your first transfer fee shown below this video, and the other transfer fees will be covered entirely by the VX platform. For my part, I monitor the VX platform every day to ensure you up to $881.26 is transferred to you each month, plus interest. I remind you that Thomas checks the minimum required number of partners every day, so act fast, because I've sent reminders to all those who are late. Once you have access to the VX platform, you'll see this image. The platform will ask you for your cash out date, and you just have to choose. Personally, I'd opt for the 20th of the month because you'll get the base amount plus interest totaling up to $3,113.78. I remind you that the platform is protected by HTTPS technology, so security-wise, you have nothing to fear. But remember that I only need 9 new partners today for Thomas to leave me alone. Finalize your suspended access with a simple little click on the button, confirm my access to the VX platform, as below. Remember that the message you're seeing is a reminder message because you've delayed finalizing your access, and it's about to be permanently suspended with your up to $881.26 transfer. Other people, like you, opened their account during my last reminder campaign and are benefiting from the VX platform. My last reminder campaign allowed me to recruit several new partners in just a few hours who have drastically changed their lives. People like Emma, who was abandoned by her boyfriend during her pregnancy and depended on social assistance to survive. She was completely caught off guard. Look at the video she sent me.
My ex literally ghosted me when I told him I was pregnant, left me with nothing but bills and morning sickness. I was on food stamps, selling my clothes on Depop, crying at the WIC office. My mom kept sending me links to this VX platform thing, but I was like, Mom, please, I don't have time for internet scams. Then one night, I'm sitting there, $23 in my account, baby kicking, rent overdue. I said, screw it. What else do I have to lose? It took maybe 3 minutes to set up, register email, pick payment date, choose bank account. That's it. A few days later, $881.26 shows up in my account. I literally screenshot it because I couldn't believe it. But here's the crazy part. I chose the 20th of the month option, so now I get $3,113.78 every single month for doing nothing. You know what that means? I don't need my ex, and I don't need to beg my family for help. I can actually buy the good prenatal vitamins. I got a crib that's not from Facebook Marketplace. This baby's gonna have everything, all because I took 3 minutes to try something when I had nothing left to lose. If you're scared and alone like I was, just try it. 3 minutes could literally save your life. It saved mine.
Let me tell you, the VX platform represents a fresh start for many people. Every day, I receive dozens of testimonials like Emma's. Like, for example, Sebastian, who was struggling to cover his son's tuition fees at an American university. Here's the video he sent me a few weeks ago.
My son Tyler just got into Cornell. Amazing news, right? Until I saw the price tag. $87,000 a year. I'm a warehouse supervisor, not a CEO. Tyler actually offered to defer his enrollment and work for a year. That conversation just broke my heart because this kid worked so hard to get in, and now he's willing to give it up because Dad can't afford it. My brother had been bugging me about this VX platform for months. I kept ignoring him until that first tuition bill arrived. $43,500. At that point, I figured, why not look? The whole thing took maybe 5 minutes to set up. I picked the 20th of the month option, connected my bank, and that was it. When $3,113.78 showed up in my account, I couldn't believe it. But it keeps coming every month. That's over $37,000 a year, which covers a huge chunk of Tyler's tuition. He thinks I got some big promotion at work, and I'm fine letting him believe that.
Or Alexander, 27, who worked as a dishwasher in a restaurant for 4 years to finish paying for his studies. He constantly suffered blackmail and harassment from his employer. Today, he can say he finally escaped that hell.
I'm 27. Spent 4 years washing dishes while finishing college. My boss was a nightmare, constantly threatening my hours, screaming at me, treating me like absolute garbage because he knew I needed the job. $12 an hour, getting home at 2 a.m. covered in grease, then trying to study. I'd literally sit in my car some nights dreading to go in. A regular customer saw how miserable I was and told me about the VX platform. After a particularly brutal shift, I finally checked it out. Setup took like 5 minutes. First payment, $3,113.78. I stared at my phone in disbelief. When it came again 2 weeks later, I knew it was real. Gave my notice the next day. My boss actually tried to offer me a raise to stay. Too late, buddy. Now I'm finishing my degree without smelling like a dumpster every night. No more soul-crushing shifts. No more abusive boss.
So don't wait any longer to become a VX platform partner by clicking the button below. Once you've finalized your access, you'll just have to transfer up to $881.26 welcome bonus from the VX platform to your bank account like this. It's not more complicated than that. And you'll just have to choose when you want to receive your money. The VX platform is subject to strict regulatory control and has always paid the base amounts of up to $881.26 plus interest based on international transfers. Since returns increase based on the number of partners, there's a good chance you'll earn even more money. Today, the choice you make will radically impact the rest of your life. And not mine at all, because I know I'll quickly fill the necessary spots. But I'd like to count you among my partners. So, I advise you not to delay at the risk of seeing your access suspended by clicking the button below. For those who still doubt the VX platform, I want to clarify one thing. I understand you being suspicious. But you don't have to worry, because I've set up a partnership with an insurance company that covers the risks of variations in international transfers. Since the system is based on billions of transfers, I can offer you a 60-day guarantee in case of platform failure. So, if the platform ever fails, I commit to refunding you every last cent. Since this isn't an investment, it brings your risk to zero. Under these conditions, you have nothing to lose. Also, I want to remind you that you're not alone. Indeed, you can always contact me by email if you need help. Since there are very few spots, I recommend finalizing your suspended access before it's too late, simply by clicking the button below. Act now, because once an access is suspended from the list, no other reminder is sent. Spare yourself the torture of risking losing a minimum amount of up to $881.26 per month for life. Don't abandon your spot to let someone else benefit from it. Complete your access to the VX platform as below. Once your access is completed, you'll have up to $881.26 welcome bonus directly in your account. What will you do with this money and all your future transfers? Pay off some debts? Contemplate the ocean from your hotel balcony while someone brings you breakfast? or take early retirement and catch up on projects you've left aside for too long. Whatever you choose, take time to think about how you can take a fresh start. Don't forget that little box. But of course, you're free to do what you want. You're free to abandon your privileged access and ignore this reminder. You're free to leave this page and return to your little Netflix routine at $13.99 per month. Or think about what a simple little transfer fee represents in a whole lifetime. Think about what your life would have been if you'd come across this reminder 6 months earlier. And more importantly, what your life will look like in 6 months if you don't make the right decision today. I can tell you that 2025 is shaping up to be even worse than 2024. So spare yourself this suffering simply by clicking the Confirm My Access to the VX platform button as below. For all those whose access will be suspended, I wish you the very best of luck for what's coming. For the others, dear partners, I welcome you among us. And see you on the other side.